Hey HBs, welcome back to Heaving Bosoms, the podcast where two best friends read romance novels because we love them and then talk about them because we can't help ourselves. Let's start off with a Patreon shout out. Michelle K., you are a goofus bird, a backwards flying taloned bird of prey that, let's review, flies backwards and builds your nest upside down. You have a turkey-like head, a long green neck with silver scales, a black right wing, and a pink left wing. Which sounds kind of nuts, but trust us, you are glorious to behold. The goofus marches to the beat of its own drum, and while often perceived as silly and aimless, underestimating you is a big mistake. You know exactly where you're going and what you're doing. That's why you don't even need to look. Maybe your nest is upside down, or maybe your nest is the only one that's right side up. We just announced this on social media, but if you've been on the fence about becoming a patron, now is the time to do it. After my self-love recommendation last week, Erin and I have decided that any new or increased Patreon pledges in the months of June and July are going to get doubled and donated to the Yellow Hammer Fund. That's right. If you become a $5 patron, we donate $10. If you increase your pledge from $10 to $15, then we donate $30 to help women keep control of their reproductive destiny. And this episode is brought to you by a new release coming out next week. Blood Captive by Kim Lorraine. It's book 1 in the Blackthorn Vampire series. Here's the description. He wanted me for my blood. Living on the run, it was all I'd ever known. My life was unstable, but at least I wasn't alone. That changed when my mother was murdered. I ran from the unknown creatures she'd always feared, until the day I stopped being afraid. That was my first mistake. Cashel Blackthorn took me as his captive, but more than that, he opened my eyes to the terrible truth of the world. Vampires exist, and I am the key to their salvation. The Blackthorn vampires need my blood, but their prince desires more. Me. There's something between us that neither of us can deny. He is my captor, but I'll be his ruin. Author Genevieve Jack notes that fans of True Blood will love this vampire romance, and award-winning author Amelia Hutchins calls it a beautiful, dark, enthralling story. This book left me craving more. If you enjoy dark stories and angst as much as I do, grab this one. The only issue I had with it was I never wanted it to end. It releases on June 17th, and you can get this novel for just 99 cents if you pre-order now. And the Universal Buy link is going to be in the show notes, so please, please be sure to support this HB. And now, let's get going with part 2 of Bully by Penelope Douglas. Oh boy. Hi, Erin.
Hi, Mel.
You look beautiful.
Thank you. I'm wearing my makeup from yesterday.
Get it, girl.
I look gorgeous because I slept in my makeup.
Yeah. Oh, it's wonderful.
We were supposed to go to a bachata lesson for the, wedding, and then so I put on my makeup, my red lipstick, and I did my sexy hair, and then we got fried chicken instead.
All right, I'm into it.
Not productive. I was gonna lose weight for my wedding, and instead I've gained 20 pounds. So viva la wedding.
Yeah,
it's gonna be
I was
great.
Supposed to lose weight for your wedding too, and I've done roughly the same thing.
Good, yay! I'm gonna encourage everybody. Let's all put on 20 pounds for this wedding. Just be happy.
That's right.
Happy people who eat fried chicken instead of
fried chicken it up.
Also bad dancing, because we missed the lesson. We didn't go. That's okay.
You still have time. It's fine.
It's fine. It's just
or
1, 2, 3,
twirl.
tap. 1, 2, 3, tap. We can do it. It's fine.
It's true. Yeah.
It'll be okay.
Uh-huh.
What's up with you?
Erin, yesterday, my life changed.
Uh-oh.
It changed. It's forever altered.
Did you watch Call Me Maybe on Netflix?
Call Me Maybe?
No, not Call Me Maybe. Always Be My Maybe.
But I watched Always Be My Maybe.
Can we just say, I really guessed that. That was real.
You did.
That was an actual guess. We did not talk about this beforehand.
No,
I knew it.
That's incredible.
I knew it, that if you'd done a life-changing thing this weekend, it was Always Be My Maybe.
It was Always Be My motherfucking maybe, you guys.
It should be called Call Me Maybe. It's so much easier to remember. That's a note. I'm putting that out for them.
Oh, yeah? Yeah. They'll just go back in time and rip off that girl, that one-hit wonder. It's fine.
Yes.
I don't know
Instead
her
of
name.
Mariah Carey.
Miley. No.
Carly.
Simon.
Ray. There you go. Carly Ray.
Jetsons. Jepsen.
Anyway, how did you enjoy the film?
Oh my God. It was perfect from start to finish. So first of all, the soundtrack is a number one, incredible. So
it really is.
So,
I was not expecting
good.
That came out of left field for me.
Out of nowhere,
yes.
Everybody. It just was perfect. I am so angry at the injustice of the world that I cannot pull off her glasses because, good Lord.
I think all of us thought about it the whole time.
Good Lord.
They're the same shape, but they're different every time. Who has like 7 glasses?
Well, see, I mean, people I know do, and it is an excellent way to live. I just can't.
No.
It's amazing.
No. Another thing to keep track of? Ugh.
Yeah. I mean, another accessory?
Yeah,
I mean,
no.
I am not, I can't. I'm
That's
not capable of it.
Part of the reason I got eyeball lasered is like, it's just like another thing on my face, you know?
Sure.
Ugh.
It's Randall Park can get it anytime.
He can get it.
He can get it.
He can get it.
Any day.
Before watching that movie, I wasn't sure that he could get it.
No, I wasn't sure about it.
I was questioning his ability to get it.
But
then,
boy, did he deliver.
Oh, a couple of those scenes.
Oh, boy.
I was like, whoa, boy, you can get it.
Oh, he can get it.
Is this the whole podcast now?
Maybe. Keanu playing his motherfucking self.
Oh, God. The role he was born to play.
Incredible.
So good.
It was so good. The song at the end. Oh, my gosh.
So good.
The song at the end. You guys, do not stop at the credits. Do not let Netflix do that to you. You watch that all the way through the credits because there is a song that I need in my life.
But they hold your hand. It's not a choice to watch the credits. They hold your hand all the way through.
They do.
They give you little snippets and then they just escort you down the road of the credits. So it's fine.
True.
No one's going to not watch the credits.
That's true. All right. But the representation in it is so goddamn amazing. I'm so excited for my kids to be living in a time where they can see themselves in TV in like actually good rom-coms, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like actually empowered, awesome rom-coms is just wonderful. I'm really hoping that 10 years from now, I'm not like, ooh, that thing that happened and Always Be My Maybe. Because like people didn't know that rom-coms of yore were problematic, right?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But goddamn, in this moment, empowering. Yeah, the representation, not just racially, but also sexuality-wise, is awesome. It's just lovely. Everything about it is lovely.
I loved it when that guy who was saying he was an ally thanked that lesbian for her service.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
It's a great movie.
It's so good. So that my life has changed. Up top, Lady Love.
That's your banter.
Always Be My Baby. That's my banter. It was so good. It was so good.
I went on a motorcycle trip.
Yeah, you did.
I got hypothermia. I was just thinking, as long as we're bantering, I may as well talk to you about how I got injured.
God damn it, again?
It was my old damn fault, too, as it always
is.
I got so cold, right? I got so cold. We rode from like 5 p.m. until 11 p.m., and it got so chilly. And David even came on the intercom and was like, Erin, are you cold? And I was like, nah. And at that moment, I didn't feel that cold. But then rapidly got very, very cold. And you know, it's windy when you're riding a motorcycle.
Wait, because you have an intercom? I don't understand intercom.
Yeah, it like goes, it's in your helmet and you push it and you go beep boop. And then the other people, you can talk to each other. Like if you want to get off the highway and go to get gas or whatever.
That's so smart.
Yeah, so you don't have to just like wave your arms around at your motorcycle friend. Anyway, so yeah, he was like, beep boop, are you cold? And I was like, beep boop, fuck no.
No,
and then I was like, oh wait, I am very cold. And then we got to the campsite and I had all the right, like, you know, thermal stuff, but I just could not stop shaking. And David kept being like, do you want my hat? And I was like, nah, I have my own hat. I just can't find it. And he's like, okay, but like, because you can't find it, do you want my hat? And I was like, no.
Right.
Shiver, 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 shiver until eternity. I don't know why. I just didn't think the hat would matter. And I didn't want his hat because he's cold too. And, you know, we're in the same tent. And then, like, man, God. Eventually I was like, yeah, give me that hat. And then I put that hat on. And
you were immediately
like,
okay?
So cozy. So happy and so cozy. And I fell asleep right away. It had been, like, literally hours. It was now, like, 4 a.m. The sun was back up for the next day. And I was still awake shivering. So I put on the hat. And I was so cozy. And then I fell immediately to sleep. And then David woke me up and was like, Erin, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I just fell asleep. And he was like, oh, I thought you died. Because I had stopped shivering for the first time in like 8 hours. So that's my motorcycle trip story. It was fun.
That is incredibly on brand.
Yes.
Don't
wear your hat. Keep your hat.
God, I have my own hat.
Would I say immediately? I mean, like, within 30 seconds. Like, I had been actively shivering for like 6 hours. Idiot.
Oh my gosh.
Idiot.
Well, we got a lot of idiots to talk about today, though.
Oh, God, I hate them. Did you watch the Celine Dion music video I sent?
No, I forgot.
Melody.
God damn it. I watched
Pause
the
it.
psychic video. Okay.
Do it right now.
All right.
HBs, if you're out there, what I need you to do is I need to stop what you're doing. If you're driving, I need you to pull over immediately and watch the music video for Celine Dion's It's All Coming Back to Me Now.
Oh, I love that.
Tell me, it's a great song.
Great song.
This book was 100%, I am sure of it, inspired by the music video It's All Coming Back to Me Now by Celine Dion. And now
because of the French doors?
Because of the French doors, because of the motorcycle. There's just, because of the storms, everything about it.
Okay.
You're going to lose your shit.
Here I go. All right. Bing, boom, bong. I just watched that video, you guys.
Hard cut. We cut it.
Oh my God.
And just so you know, guys.
It was incredible.
100% validation.
Oh.
Hardwood floors. French doors.
Storms.
Flying open. Storms. Motorcycles.
Yeah.
The black nightie that she was wearing. Everything about that video was 100% the inspiration.
Well, it was a white silk robe, but it's very similar to what was happening in the book. Yeah, incredible. Like, yes. I'll not only post the link to the video, but also our banter throughout me watching it.
I don't know that it's going to be entertaining, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'll listen to it and see.
It may just be us laughing the whole time. But that's kind of the podcast, so maybe they'll like it. I don't know.
I mean, yeah. Okay, so we got to talk about these dummies. Are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready to talk about these dummies. Where did we leave off talking about these dumb idiots?
We left off with them a-kissing for the first time. Him sort of assaulting her being into it, and then pushing him away.
When this 35-year-old tattooed motorcycle man was self-destructively drunk in his house alone.
Yep. After he trashed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
Yep. 7 red flags. Cool.
Yes.
So now we're back at school. She is trying to avoid him, but then, you guys, she comes around a corner and she crashes into him, of course.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. She hits the floor. He tries to help her up, and she's like, ugh, I don't need your help, Jared. You shouldn't touch me because my whole body goes aflame. She doesn't say that.
But she says things like that.
Yeah.
I remember there was one time where she was like, they're doing sex. Oh, spoiler alert, they do sex later.
Yeah, they do sex, you guys.
And she was like, his mouth trailing down my body is like a fuse, and my vagina is the dynamite. Like, that happened. That was an actual line in the book, and I was like, oof.
Yep,
a lot.
It's true. It's true. And I did not
she
mind
say
that.
Vagina. She says like my sex or
My
something.
sex. Yeah, she always says my sex.
thighs or something like that. But I was just like, boom. That's a lot. Okay. Anyway.
And I did not hate that as much as a couple of other ones I'll talk about later.
I didn't hate it. I loved it, but I think my love was ironic because it took me all the way out. And I was just like, imagined her vagina exploding.
Kaplooey!
Boom!
Okay. So then Ben takes her to the races on Friday because she agreed to do that last episode. Oh. And Casey is there with Jared because they're dating, guys. Remember? Her best friend is dating her bully.
Casey is dating her bully. Yeah, I just said the same thing you said. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, I mean, I feel like it needs to be repeated. That shit's fucked up.
She's a terrible friend.
Yes. So her ex-boyfriend, Liam, is racing Jared's best friend, Maddox. And it was supposed to be Jared. Jared apparently, promised Casey to avenge her because Liam was cheating. Remember, he orchestrated that whole thing because he's incredibly vengeful, this guy.
Yeah,
super vindictive, our Jared.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then, you guys, there's an actual Cha-Cha Di Gregorio at the loop.
The loop.
And near. Beep, beep. Beep, beep. Yeah. And Cha-Cha Di Gregorio comes out in her little crop top.
She fits in with this movie because she's 35.
Yeah, and her goddamn ascot, and she takes it off, and she pulls it up, and then she goes, "Go, ready, set, go." That's all you know what Cha-Cha does, you guys. We all know what Cha-Cha does.
Yes, we've seen it.
That's right. And then Maddox wins, and as soon as Liam gets out of the car, what's her nuts? Tate, her name is Tate. She wraps herself around Jared. No. Tate sees Casey.
Yes.
Wrap herself around Jared and get up all on him. And he kisses her back. And it's like, oh, I just don't need to see it. I just didn't need to see it in my brain.
Grossed me out.
It grossed me out. Yeah.
Just grossed out, you guys.
Just grossed out.
Grossed out.
And again, I am not one of those people who's like, I have a crush on a guy, so he's off limits to all other guys. My hard limit is, don't fuck the guy who's been tormenting me for years.
Sure. Yes.
I feel like that's just best friendship 101. But you know what? I'm a crazy pants sometimes. So that's fine. Okay. So then you guys, Jared races this other 35-year-old. And, oh no, he's in college. So he's actually 62. Sorry.
Right.
And, okay.
There's
and then fucking Tate. No, I'm sorry. I have to talk about Tate's inner monologue. More fucking girl on girl stupidness.
Okay.
Cha-Cha goes back out to do the starting line situation. Cha-Cha Di Gregorio. And Tate's inner monologue is Cha-Cha going ready. And then she thinks to herself, little miss look at me called. Just like Tate. Yeah. She's doing her job right now.
Yeah.
She has a job to do.
This is her job.
This is her work job, you guys.
Work. She's not. That's not a thing.
She's not. But still.
She's doing what she wants to do. And
she's making the races go.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
They have to look at her because they have to know when to go. You're a dick, Tatum.
She is
You're
a dick. She's a dick.
Oh, I found a non-fictional Tatum you would also hate.
Oh.
It's on a little show that's already been canceled called Paradise Hotel.
You were obsessed with Paradise Hotel.
I'm obsessed.
And I watched it. Mad. And I saw that bitch. And it was the day after we recorded. You told me to watch it.
She gets worse.
Yes.
She manages to get worse.
Real life Tatums, that's fine. I don't want to shame the name. Because one time we were talking about how an author named somebody Kitty. And we were like, no one's named Kitty in real life. And then many HB Kitties came out of the woodwork and were like, my name is Kitty and I am a
Thank you very
professional heart surgeon who takes myself very seriously. There were a lot of my name is Kitty and I'm a fucking astronaut. So what do you guys have to say to that? And then we felt bad. So listen, guys, if your name is Tatum, I don't want to be a dick, but it's used in fiction as shorthand for cool slut.
And reality TV is basically fiction, except I think this girl's name is also Tatum.
Yes.
And she's the worst.
I think maybe her mom named her Tatum because of all the cool sluts in fiction.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But she definitely is terrible. Not because she's slutty, but because she's manipulative.
Yeah, and pretty dumb.
Yeah, dumb.
Yeah. And she's not very nice.
No, and mean
she's
to other
real
women. Like,
yeah.
She does that thing where she seduces somebody I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah. As a ruse.
She does.
A ruse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you make me? That was 2 hours of my life that I can never get back, and now it's canceled.
Listen, I'm like 8 hours in.
Okay.
I just need to know who wins this season, and then I can die happy. All right.
Okay.
So, sorry. So they tie at this race. They tie, you guys, and it's really serious business. And so
controversial is what it is.
Quite.
It's a lot of money riding on these high schoolers racing
right.
cars.
All these high schoolers in the crowd are doing a lot of betting, apparently.
That's a lot. They have money.
It's thousands of dollars worth of bets, apparently.
Uh-huh.
And after the race, he's arguing with his opponent, and the other guy is like, well, you're not even man enough to race me, which A, doesn't make sense because they just raced.
They just did.
Right? And he did not get beaten.
Right.
But then B, it leads to this really nice little interlude where Jared goes, ugh. Jared says, man enough, he asks sarcastically. Oh, God. And then Tate thinks the trampy brunette from Jared's party, Piper, walked up and plastered herself to him like a snake. She cupped his cheek with one hand and grabbed his ass with the other. Plunging her tongue into his mouth, she kissed him slow and deep, putting her entire body into it. The fucking crowd couldn't scream any louder. Heat shot out of my nose, ears, and eyes before I looked away. What? First of all, I'm sorry. Brief
what is
pause.
happening here,
Tatum, see a physician, please. You need to go to the doctor.
See Kitty, the heart surgeon, HB.
Yeah. Yeah, she's real good. She's real good at what she does. Okay, sure. And then next. Oh, and then it says, he'd kissed me like that 2 days ago. Meanwhile, also Casey, like 4 days ago. Like just
also
now.
Like moments ago.
Right.
Yeah. It's only a problem when it's like sluts. And she doesn't think Casey, her best friend, is one, which is crazy because she does the same things that all of the quote unquote sluts do. I don't know. Anyway.
I know. So then it says, fuck him. I peered over at Casey. Oh, this part doesn't matter. It's just that she like confirms that Casey was like, ugh, I'm only doing this because I want Liam to watch us. I want to make Liam jealous, essentially. So she learns that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the guy's the tiebreaker because...
No, you cannot skip to the tiebreaker. Because moments after, Piper snakes away.
Oh yeah, snake.
That's not a snake
slither,
noise.
Slither,
I don't know
slither.
why. Yeah, slither. There you go. He then like holds out his arms, akimbo out instead of akimbo hips.
The upright akimbo.
And he's like, am I not man enough? Because he just made out with a lady.
Yeah, he gladiators out.
Me out. I know that the slut shaming is what grossed you out, but that grossed me out so much more because I imagined a 17-year-old boy at this like vroom racetrack and like, am I not man enough? I made out with a hot lady, as if that's what makes you a man, and it just made me so super grossed out.
No, there's a lot of misogyny, dudes. There's a lot of it.
Yeah, and like heteronormative grossness.
Yes. Sorry, so it's a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker, because we need to have more misogyny, is that the girlfriends have to race their cars.
Tee, a girl in a car.
Girls.
Because here's the thing that was weird about this to me, was they were like, we know that you, Jared, and you, old man college, are good drivers. Old man college. You guys are good at driving cars. What we want to know is if your machines can beat each other.
Which makes no sense when you put a person who doesn't know how to drive a stick shift.
But like, it's
behind
not
the
even
wheel.
like we're going to see which girlfriend is better. It's not like that. It's like we're going to put
a test of the machine.
Yeah, we're going to put a nothing entity behind the wheel. Like a not even sentient being. Like a droid. And then we will see which car is better. I don't know. It was just so gross. It like took their whole... Their abilities are not an issue. Yeah. It's just the cars.
Right. Especially... Well, so A, that's super disgusting. But B, it's not even factual.
No.
When you put a person who does not know how to drive a stick shift behind the wheel of a stick shift, the person who does know how to drive a stick shift is probably going to win.
Or even race cars. Like, say they're both good at driving stick. Like, there's a nuance to the loop that I'm sure that they don't know. Like, even if I was good at driving stick, I'm sure that I would go up to the curve, make a full stop, look both ways, then turn right. You know,
sure.
You know?
No, I hear you. I
Yeah.
know. It's just so Jared is like, I don't have a fucking girlfriend. You know, everybody knows that I am too much of a man to have just one lady.
Oh, it's so gross.
It's so gross. So anyway, but then he asks Tate. He's like, the only person I would choose is Tate because her father taught us both to drive. The international scientist taught us both to drive.
And I'm sure Old Man College would like to pick the best female driver out of the audience too, but he's stuck with this, ball and chain, which sucks for him.
This stupid lady who doesn't know how to drive a manual. Yeah. Honestly,
we're not saying that for real.
No, we're not saying that for real. Yeah. That's not a thing. Ugh, it's so gross. So then she's like, absolutely not. I'm not doing anything for you. And I was here for it. I was like, Tate, that's right. You do not help him at all because he has been your bully for years.
You do not owe him.
You don't owe him a goddamn thing. But then Casey's like, you want to though. And she goes, perhaps, but I do have pride. He's not getting a goddamn thing from me. And then Jared says, thank you. For what? I shot back. For reminding me what a disappointing, self-serving bitch you are.
Uh-huh.
Jared gritted out. I
hated it.
Hero.
This is hero.
The hero. This is the guy that I want. What?
Yeah.
For reminding me what a disappointing, self-serving bitch you are.
Mm-hmm.
Is a line that is said, I think, 45% into the book.
Yeah. And it's not because she won't, I can see a situation where he's in serious trouble and Tate's like, no, fuck off because he's been a bully for so long and he lashes out at her and I'm okay with it. This is him asking her to do a favor that he doesn't really even need and is pretty dangerous. And, this is not something that she's a bitch for not doing at all.
No, it's not like he's stuck by the side of the road in a desert and the nearest diner is 100 miles away.
Right.
It's amazing. It's incredible. I don't know. I have no words for it because I was just so shell-shocked when I was reading it.
This is a red flag for sure. The first time you don't do exactly what he wants you to do, he's going to call you a little bitch. That's awful, Tate.
Yeah, and also in front of what I'm led to believe is hundreds of people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they can't necessarily hear it.
You wouldn't believe.
The loop. But her best friend is standing right there. There's a lot of people who can hear him saying this, and that doesn't make it worse necessarily. But
it does.
It's just I guess I'm just saying that abuse that's done behind closed doors is not better.
No, yeah,
it's
but
just
it is
the audacity
worse to humiliate
of it.
somebody in front of.
Yeah, especially
too.
This early in the relationship. Yeah. To be I don't give a shit that everyone knows that I talk to you like this. Right. It's just amazing. Okay, sorry. Anyway, she ends up doing it because there are thousands of dollars on the line. And I guess the high schoolers will all get really mad if they don't win their bets.
Bets? Because they're...
Basically, his best friend is you think you're getting bullied now? You better wait until you cost all of these people all of their money.
They're gonna murder you because
so
this
bad.
Is high school in the Chicago suburbs.
That's right, high stakes high school.
This is Naperville, motherfuckers. They're gonna come for you.
They're gonna get you. So anyway, she ends up doing it. She finds out that he has a lucky charm that he stole off of her grandmother's grave.
Even when he tries to be sweet, he's not sweet. It's her mother. It's her mother, right?
Yeah, she made
grandmother,
this...
I thought.
Sorry, no. I don't know. I said mother's grave. I don't know.
Oh, sorry. So they each had one, I guess.
They made a Mother's Day gift.
Yeah.
It was a crafty thing. It was a thumbprint in a Mod Podge or whatever.
Uh-huh. And he helped her go to the grave to leave the thumbprint thingy with the picnic. I think we talked about it last episode. Then stole it and then put it on the mirror of his car. That's weird, man. That's for her mom, dude. You can't. That's not yours.
I just laughed so hard I drooled.
Well, it's true. It upset me very much.
No, I know. I was
if
like,
I saw it, I wouldn't be like, oh, Jared's so sweet. He stole that off of my mom's grave and has had it for so long. I would be like, you stole that from my dead ghost mom.
My dead mom.
Yeah.
Like, let's bring my dead mom into our romantic relationship. What?
No, into our bullying relationship. I'm just
right. Yeah. Well, I guess friendship relationship at that point. Right.
I guess. I was just like, I was floored by this. It was very upset. And then she tries to take it because she's like, this belongs to my dead mom. I gave it to her. This. Yeah. And she probably can't even move on. Because she didn't get it. She's probably riding motorcycles around Celine Dion's house.
Yeah.
Waiting for her unfinished business.
It's so true.
And he's like, no.
He's like, I'm going to get that back. And then she's like, no, you're not. And he's like, I always get what I want. Ugh. Just like red flag city. Throw them up in the air.
Cha-Cha's just like red flags. Just waving everywhere.
That's right. She is. That ascot is bright red and it is not around her neck anymore.
Red flags.
Okay. So then they do the driving, you guys. And during the driving, there's a really, really fucked up Miss Daisy impersonation.
Oh, I forgot about this. Oh my God. I completely forgot about this. I highlighted it, but it left my mind.
Because there's so many other things that your mind has to be filled with. We're not
going to do it because it's racist.
No, we're not going to do it.
But he does like
No, she does.
She does?
Yes, because he's in the passenger seat.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
she does like an impersonation of an old black man driving Miss Daisy. Like, I don't know what else to. Like,
I mean, I hear what you're saying, but like impersonation is not it. But yes, you know what I mean. It's like a caricature.
It's like a voice. She's doing like a voice. It's weird,
and she uses like the dialectical intonation for yes, ma'am. It's bad.
Yeah. I don't know where it is, so I can't find exactly
really
what she
bad.
says. But she says, using my best, like, old Southern accent. And I want to be like, Tatum, that's not what that is.
That's not what that is.
You sure about that?
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So, okay, then she wins. Okay. So
yeah, she wins because the other girl can't, like, figure out what a car is, which is fine.
Yeah, because she doesn't know how to drive a manual.
And Tatum is good at cars.
Right.
So I don't know why this is, like, such a victory for Tatum, who's like, I've prevailed over this woman who's, like, sobbing because she doesn't know what the clutch is.
She's getting verbally abused by her fucked up geriatric college boyfriend.
Oh, he's so old.
He's so old.
Old college man.
Oh, man. Okay, so then there's a bonfire after, and she goes with Ben because she's on a date with Ben, guys.
Right. Did you guys remember she's on a date with Ben? Poor Ben.
Poor fucking Ben, you know?
Kind of.
I mean, he's a douche, but he's like a well-meaning douche, I guess.
Yeah. He's the best guy in this book, despite what's about to happen.
By far.
Yes.
Leagues ahead. Okay, so he comes without Casey because she is talking to Liam because, like, I guess whatever the ruse is up. The jig is up between the two of them. Oh, okay. Sorry. While I tried to ignore the vibe of Jared's presence, I found myself unable to keep from looking for him. I'd seen him chatting with his friends, and the last time I looked, Piper had her face buried in his neck. She looked trashy in her short, tight, black dress and heels.
Yes.
Who wore heels to the beach? Like, not even a real beach either, but a rocky and muddy lakeshore.
You're shaming her for being at the lake. You're there, too. She's like, why are you wearing heels here?
She's wearing Chuck Taylors.
And also, this beach is gross and slutty. Like, this beach is also a skank. So why are you even here with your stupid heels?
And then it says, to my delight, he looked about as interested in her as he would a plate of parsnips. Because we got to bring root vegetables into it.
This is how teenagers talk.
How dare you?
For sure. Well, you look as interesting as a plate of parsnips. So why am I not popular?
Okay, so she decides in that moment that she for sure doesn't want Ben. She's like sort of bemoaning it, being like, why can't I just want Ben? The only good guy in the whole universe. And But then Ben gets drunk, even though he's her ride. And he knows that he's her ride. She's told him up front that she needs to go home early because she's got a running thing. And he's very much like trying to push beer at her so that she wants to stay. It's a lot. So then she decides that she's going to walk to the parking lot, which is like through a Little Red Riding Hood kind of forest situation.
Sure. Yes.
And try to bum a ride from somebody who might be in the parking lot. Instead of just like talking to people who are around her.
Right.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the big bad wolf comes out of the forest.
Yes.
His name is Nate, and he's a wannabe rapist.
Yeah. He did something to her earlier.
Yeah, he did.
Remember how I learned that live on the podcast?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so he tries to assault her, and she pepper sprays him. Then Jared comes out of the woodwork also and beats him to fuck.
Yeah.
Like kicking him while he's down even. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
It is.
I'm just saying she took care of it, you guys.
Mm-hmm. As Jared says later in this book, his reaction was justified, but his actions were not.
Yeah, Jared. That's surprising.
But he doesn't say that. He's repeating what a judge said to him when he was convicted of a crime.
I forgot.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. Yeah. So then he gets her in his car because he's like, I am taking you home.
You will join me for car ride.
You will join me for car ride. So he puts her in the car. He starts going like 85 miles per hour on this country fucking road. Then he turns off the headlights, ?
Yeah.
And he uses this all as a device to be like, do you see how scared you are, Tate? He actually uses the phrase bimbo. Do you know how many bimbos I've done this with and they've just giggled? That's because you're different. And you shouldn't be out here with us hooligans and stuff. Like,
it's rough. And
it's fucked up on so many levels.
I don't know if any of you have ever been on a date with like a dangerous driver who thinks that's funny and cool, but I feel like most of us have. Have you been on a dangerous driver date before? Yeah. It is one of the most terrifying. Like I had a full body reaction to this. Because I have been there of like, ha ha ha, see how funny this is. I can go 150 miles an hour and turn off my headlights and tee hee hee, like, look what a cool guy I am. While you're just like, I'm gonna fucking die now.
This is how I die.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
Yep.
It's the worst. I hate Jared.
I know. She even talks about how she can't like hit him or do anything to try to stop him because of course that's gonna
make it worse.
Jangle the steering wheel in ways that are super dangerous.
Or probably make him more like, haha, like I'm going to do it more now because it's getting to you. Remember Shep? Remember Shep and how he went so slow on those mountain roads?
Shep.
I just wanted to keep her safe.
Oh,
remember Shep?
Anyway, I do.
All right.
I remember him fondly.
Here we are with Jared.
So basically, he ends up stopping, and then she ends up grabbing his keys because she wants to know like why he treats her so badly. And her whole thing is, I'm going to throw a key every time you don't answer me.
I kind of liked it.
I did too. I mean, I would have preferred her to just like get in the car and drive off without him, but you know, I understand that's unrealistic.
Yeah, that doesn't help the dialogue.
No, it doesn't. So basically, he tells her that he has bullied her for so long because he was jealous of other dudes. He wasn't trying to protect her from other dudes. He started the rumors because he didn't want anybody else inside her. Gross. Same difference, yeah. And then he said that you were never clingy or a nuisance, Tate. The day you moved in next door, I thought you were the most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. I fucking loved you.
Yeah. That was 4th grade or whatever.
Yeah, that was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I feel like you're putting a different tint on your sunglasses here, Jared, looking back, but that's fine. And then he said that her monologue really fucked him up because he didn't want to actually hurt her and he was angry at himself. She tries to get him to tell her what happened that summer. And he's like, I'm not going to talk about that. And because he's like, I just want to look forward. I don't want to look back. And justifiably, she's like, fuck that and fuck you.
Yeah. But he does have a tattoo saying that, you guys. We find out later.
I can't even. That tattoo is the dumbest thing I've ever read on a page
I can't wait.
in my whole life.
So then he pins her on the hood of his car.
Yep. And he doesn't kiss her.
No. But he makes sure that he knows that he can keep her there and she can't leave.
Yeah, he's got her caged in, and he's not kissing her. However, you guys, he's just running his slightly open mouth over her skin.
Here's the thing. Listen.
Which, yeah, I'm listening.
Bing, boom, bong, it worked for me, and I'm sorry. Here's the thing. I don't know why. Like, okay, so he has her there. It's gross. What the words he says are gross. I didn't actually believe that if she said, no, I want to leave, that he was going to, like, hold her there, even though that's what he was kind of saying.
Sure.
I didn't feel weird about it. But, like, there's some movie where a guy does, you know what? I think it's the Wedding Date. Do you remember that movie?
With Deborah Messing?
Yes.
I vaguely remember it, but I don't know what you're talking about.
Dermot Mulroney? Is that right?
Who knows? I don't know.
I don't know.
I barely came up with Deborah Messing. So.
It has this exact same scene. And it's very sexy in that movie.
Okay.
Because he's like got her against a car.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not going to kiss you until you want me. Like, he was asking her to ask him to kiss her. And he's basically just like breathing all over her face. But it's hot. Anyway.
Yeah. See, here's the thing.
Be prepared to cut that when I'm wrong about the movie, wrong about the actor, and wrong about that scene ever existing. Sorry in advance. I know you won't. It's the worst. Hate it.
So here's the thing. It worked for me when I was reading, but like, you know, zooming back in my brain and watching myself watch the scene and then watching the scene from way back there.
Why do you do this to yourself?
I don't know. Because I have to, because I'm a self-analytical person. I don't know how I feel about somebody just like slightly open mouth. Is it a little wet? Or is it just
remember
smooth?
that kiss in Firelight where it was just tongues?
Yeah.
And it also involved a masquerade mask. And remember how you got behind that? Yeah. I think it's because you don't like this book.
I think so too.
It's a man in a masquerade mask just like sticking his tongue out and licking your tongue, and you're like, I'm into it.
Masquerade masks are not a hard limit for me.
Just tongues only.
You know what? My note, I'm gonna have to retract everything I just said, because my note is there's some sexiness where he drags his mouth all over her, saying he won't kiss her until she asks.
It's hot. She's
melting, but pushes him off. And then in all caps, I said, but then I want to touch you. His words were against my lips now. He ruined it. That's right. The but then means he ruined it, as he always does. Every single time. He always ruins it. I'm sorry. I want to touch you. I want to feel what's mine. What's always been mine. Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. But it works for her. She goes, oh, sweet Jesus, the words shouldn't turn me on, but holy hell they did. I mean, I've been there, you know?
Yeah, we all have.
My mouth quivered with wanting to take him in. He tasted his breath, but my eyes snapped open because I realized that it would fulfill his need too.
Mm-hmm.
So
neat.
Then she has a sex dream involving her French doors.
God. She's laying in her bed.
I feel so bad. Because here's the thing. I meant to go through and do a search just on door. Okay. Mm-hmm. So I could find the actual number that she references these doors. Because sometimes it's French doors, sometimes it's double doors, sometimes it's my doors, sometimes it's like the doors when she's in her bedroom.
Okay, we'll do this research and we'll post it in the cult. Here's the thing. French doors, the phrase French doors appears 16 times. That sounds low, but believe me, when you're reading it, it's a lot. It is so much.
But again, they're referenced without the word French way more than that. So we will find the number and we will get it to you.
She loves these doors.
She does.
She's just laying in her bed.
Sleep. Can I say I love it when a heroine comes in her sleep? Is that a weird thing? She has a sexy dream and she wakes up gyrating and coming, and I love it. I just love it.
All right.
Girls have dreams like that too.
I think she even references girls have dreams like that too. Something like that.
No, really?
Yeah, I think she was like, I didn't know girls could have wet dreams too.
Boy, we can. All right. Oh, then she goes to a track meet where she takes second in everything.
Oh, that second place medal.
That was so good.
Keeps taking it.
Mm-hmm. And then on Monday, Maddox asks her to the homecoming dance. And his whole thing is he wants to ask her as friends to apologize for what a dick he's been.
But he also makes a huge scene and is a huge dick to her.
Yes. He talks about how she's pregnant and how like
she says no and he won't take no for an answer. So he makes this big scene.
Yeah. He like gets down on his knees and he grabs her and he like it's a whole big giant thing. So she says yes. Then she's doing this lab experiment after work, after school. And Jared comes into the classroom incredibly ominously. Like she's in the closet grabbing supplies. And when she comes back in, like the 45-year-old crime boss that he is, he's just posted up, like lounging at this table with his feet up, I think. It's really fucking weird. And he's like, I want to help you. And she's like, you don't do science things. No, I science. You don't science.
Right. No, you are a mob boss. Vroom, vroom.
Vroom, vroom. The loop. And so then she keeps dropping things and he's like, I make you nervous.
He's also like, I'm here to help you. And she's like, I don't really need any help. And he's like, I didn't ask. He says that several times. I am helping. And it's like, you don't get to just like be in my space and like touch all my shit.
So then he apologizes for how he treated her. And then they have a legitimately super hot kiss.
Yeah.
She pulls back though. And then he goes like cold. Like his eyes die. His eyes go totally dead.
Snake eyes.
Uh-huh. Okay, so it sucks because her inner monologue is different from what she says out loud. Her inner monologue is like, I don't want him to win, is basically it. It sounds really petty.
Right.
But then what she says out loud is really good. She's like, you can't treat me like crap and then have me with no explanation.
Which is fine. If she hadn't had already said it at least like 10 times already in this book.
I know.
This cycle is constant. He smooches on her, and then she has an inner monologue of like, he can't win, I don't trust him. And then out loud, she's like, you can't treat me like shit, and then try to have sex with me. And then he storms off. That happens, I think, like 5 times in this book. Like
I think so. Between 3 and 5 times. That exact
her saying,
happens.
You can't treat me like shit, verbatim.
Right.
And then either have me or like smooch me or whatever.
Right.
Verbatim.
Yep.
It gets really tedious.
It's really tedious. And then Piper comes to the door, whining in a cheerleader uniform.
God.
And cajoles him into taking her home.
She bites her lip and like flips her hair and all these things that Tate just finds
talk about her midriff.
Disgusting.
Which, just come on.
She calls her Terrence, which I really
I like that too.
Liked.
Nice work, Piper.
Yeah.
Later on, she comes up to her like the next day or something, and she's like, I think you should know that Jared is not interested in you, so back off.
Oh, wait. And I have some things to say about this encounter.
Oh, yeah. Do you want me to just read the whole thing? Because I will.
Wait. I have a lot of notes right now. So, Bing Book Bong notes. First of all, during that moment when she's outside the science store, she accuses Tatum of giving Maddox a black eye after the big confrontation in the cafeteria. And it turns out that Jared gave him a black eye for, I don't know, asking Tatum to homecoming. I guess.
He beat up his best friend in the world.
Yeah. Who asked her to homecoming as friends and did not know that Jared even liked her.
And we find out later that he did that to like try to
manipulate,
get a reaction,
to like write a fire under him or whatever. But like at the time,
and this is also after he has been like fingering her best friend with no problem.
Then we have an interlude where she calls her dad via Skype and she's eating a Hot Pocket. I just have to say, the dad being gone for like 6 months in Germany doing science is off the chain crazy, and this is how crazy. Are you ready for a passage?
I cannot wait.
Tatum Brand, that is not your dinner. The shock in my dad's eyes made me roll mine. It's food. Now be quiet, I command. To her
Don't you talk to your German dad like that?
Don't you talk to your German science dad like that?
That's right.
I looked over to see Casey smile and shake her head. I'll be home in 2.5 months. Did you think you can keep yourself alive until then? Dad said sarcastically. And it's like, maybe not. She's a child. You can't leave her alone for a semester of high school. German dad? That whole exchange where she's like, it's food. God, shut up.
Eek, been bad idea, Dad. All right?
Bad idea.
Okay, so, all right. So during this, are we back to the altercation?
No, number 3.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Okay, so then Casey is over, and she's talking to her about how she got back with Liam.
Yeah.
And then Tate asked her if she ever had sex with Jared when they were, like, doing makeouts or whatever. It doesn't really matter, except for it's kind of this weird, jealousy thing. But then here's another quote that's illustrative of this book.
Yeah, please.
So you two didn't ... I stared down to my dark hardwood floors, feeling awkward.
That's boastful. Stop boasting about your hardwood floors, Tatum.
They're so dark.
It's extra awkward.
And then Casey says, no, what do you think I am? Illustrating the slut shaming of this book. There's architecture and slut shaming in the same sentence. Is that architecture, interior design? Maybe, I don't know.
Who the fuck knows?
Okay, so now we are at the confrontation. Just so you know, the slutty girl is wearing a halter top. She's always in a halter top, you guys.
She is.
In 2013, she's wearing a freaking halter top to school. And what Tatum is wearing is a black peasant blouse.
Yeah.
Several rubber bracelets. Okay. And red, black ballet flats. So she's a classy lady. This confrontation ends with her putting up her hand and saying, rest easy, kitty cat. I'm not after him.
Have you ever condescendingly called a woman kitty cat?
Imagine a 17-year-old girl wearing that outfit, talking to another 17-year-old girl in a halter top and holding up her hand, like talk to the hand and be like, rest easy, kitty cat. I'm not after him. And imagine that working out.
Oh, boy.
Like, imagine her winning that argument. No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Also, her inner monologue here sucks. So after she's like, back off, Tatum's inner monologue is, her warning came with a raised eyebrow and laughable duck face lips. Really? Yeah. She was making this too easy. And then she says, so are you naturally insecure or just with Jared? And then back to her inner monologue. I innocently inquired, enjoying a weaker opponent a little too much.
God, I hate her.
How do you know she's weaker? You asshole!
Yeah.
Stop diminishing Piper's intellect because of what she wears. How dare you?
Well, and that skanky beach she hangs out on. God, it's not even a real beach. It's just like rocky and it's like got lake water. Gross.
God. So gross.
It's an Illinois beach. Why are you even here? So one of the things that Tate is about in this argument is like, oh, you know him so good? When's his birthday? What's his favorite color? What's his mom's name? How much meth does his dad do? You know, like stuff like that. And then Piper's like, I know where he goes on the weekends and you don't even know that. You don't know it. And then Tate's like, I don't know where he goes on the weekends. So I'm going to commit burglary.
Yeah, she cat burgles him. She goes right into his room when she thinks he's not home because his car has gone vroom vroom away.
How does she get into his room?
Oh, through their tree.
But what does she have to cross through first?
She has to just dramatically open her French doors.
These are French doors.
So she goes in.
It is a French door.
It is, in fact. Yep. So she goes into his room. She like starts rifling through all his shit. She finds a box of pictures that don't include her. And she's like, ugh, there's no, like, I know we were in a ton of pictures together. He's just like throwing them out.
How dare he have pictures of not me?
Of just him. What?
Yeah.
And then she finds this thing under his bed. It looks like court documents and it looks like a couple of other things, but she doesn't have time because the door opens and Jared comes in a towel.
Right.
So she tries to hide. And then she's like, oh no, he's going to turn around at any moment. I've got to brazen it out.
Right.
So she's like, hey, I'm here now. He's like, what the fuck are you doing in my room?
She thought he left because she saw his car leave, but I guess his friend was just taking his car to go get gas while he took a shower, which is weird. That's not...
because his friends are the serfs and he's the king.
Yeah, he's their servants.
Okay, so then she's like, I'm here to give you a present for your birthday.
Which she just remembered it was. Because she said to Piper, do you even know when his birthday is? Or something like that.
Like,
and then she's like, oh shit, it was yesterday.
Oh man. So then she goes up and kisses him, and then the kiss of course turns into a metric fuck ton more.
He's already naked, so
yeah, you guys, he's only got a towel on.
Yeah.
And so then she whispers into his ear, I'm not stopping. And so he grabs her up and bachelorettes her over to the bed.
I hate it. What are your intentions with me?
What are your
What are your can't even say the whole thing.
So he goes to go down on her, and her trepidation surrounding that leads to another super gross passage. Here it is.
Really?
Oh yeah. He cocked his head to the side, figuring something out in his head.
I thought that was later.
You're a virgin, he stated quietly. Yep, I guess I made it kind of obvious now. But before I could feel self-conscious about my lack of experience, he kissed my inner thighs, sending me reeling again. You have no idea how happy that makes me.
Oof.
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 She is not worth more because she hasn't had sex yet.
No, she's all his. Wait, I'm not sure if you understand this concept, Melody. Because she has had sex with other men, she belongs to Jared now, and only Jared. She's not like used in a way, or like damaged goods, or like
there's nothing torn on her.
Yeah, nothing.
The present is pristine.
Right, she hasn't been like tainted or like stained by the acts of another man. So now do you understand what he means by it?
Oh my gosh, yeah, I think that clears it all up for me.
Isn't it sweet? Isn't it cute and sweet?
It's romantic.
Oh, God.
It's so romantic to think about her as just a piece of pie to be doled out to men.
Well, and then on the other end of the spectrum, then we can clearly illuminate Piper as a used tissue.
Oh my gosh.
She's disgusting.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know this for a fact, but I assume because of her slutty clothes and the way she moves like a snake.
Oh, slither.
Yeah, and the way she wears heels on an Illinois lake beach. That she's not, yes. She is not a virgin. And because of that.
Oh, my, she's worth nothing.
Yes. No man will ever have her.
She's obviously the villain.
It's very similar to that Viking book from the 14th century. How Enid the slut enjoyed the company of men, but no man would have her because of the other men's advances. It's very similar to that, but instead it's in the 21st century.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And it's not at all backwards or more backwards than it was then.
It's just Jared's preference.
Yeah. It's just the way the world works. I get it.
Yeah.
I have been educated.
You're welcome.
Oh, thank goodness.
Can't wait for my wedding night.
Erin needs to get to it. Someday. Okay, so they get interrupted by friends because they're all needing to go to the loop. Brum, brum. So he's like, no, I'm not racing anymore because we're about to get it in. I am about to get it in. You are about to belong to me.
Right. Well, you always have because you haven't had sex with any men. So from birth.
Yes.
Just stamp of Jared on her forehead.
That's right, of Jared.
So anyway.
You guys, we got into a Twitter war.
Yeah, we got into a little bit of a Twitter war, and then it spread to Romancelandia of large.
True.
I felt pretty proud of us because I felt like we were on the ground floor of that one.
We were on the ground floor. There were definitely others involved.
Oh, yes.
Too.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, we took off our earrings and got in there, you know?
Anyway, so Jared wants to go to the loop, but off Jared, which is what I'm going to call Tate from here on out, says that he wants to stay. She wants to go to the loop as his date. So he relents and they go to the loop.
Ooga, boom, boom. So she's really pissed because of all the slutty girls outside of their car greeting him on the way in.
Oh my God,
It's really annoying. It never stops.
Oh God.
So then, guess who is being Cha-Cha Di Gregorio today, you guys?
Piper.
It's Piper. Piper is cha-chaing it up.
Mm-hmm.
And she has been practicing her ready, set, go forever because when you're a slut, you're not smart, remember?
Right.
Ugh. Oh, he's already told her, like, hey, if I don't pay any attention to you when we're in public.
It's because I love motor cars.
Yes, it is. It's not you, it's me, you asshole.
It's not you, it's motor cars.
That's right.
I've got to concentrate on my driving.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, back at the bedroom, she found a picture of like a 14-year-old boy covered in welts and bruises.
Yeah, spoiler alert, it's Jared. His dad beat him up.
But also,
was this supposed to be a reveal for everybody?
Apparently, it was not.
No,
but apparently.
He's 14. He goes for a summer to visit his dad. He comes back with a back full of scars.
And irreparably, altered emotionally.
70% into this book, we're supposed to be like, he was abused?
Yeah.
Jesus. Anyway.
Yeah, but there is a weird moment that I had where she was like, did Jared do this to a child? And I'm like, you knew him when he was 14. You knew what he looked like.
What?
Yeah. At the moment
did
they're like
Jared
driving in.
Do this to a child?
Yeah. She's like, is that Jared? Or did Jared do this to a child?
She's seen the freaking scars on his back. This is the second time I've said frickin' today. I'm getting like... I'm getting Midwest in your face. Oh. Did you do that to a child?
She apparently forgot what he looked like during their best friendship. Also the scars.
Well, I assume this is like a picture where she can't see his face, which is fine, but like...
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Duh.
Yeah, totally. Okay, anyway, sorry. We're back. She's cha-chaing, okay?
I mean, wait, one moment.
Sorry.
She does have a point in that if you were abused as a child such that you had like scars, permanent scars all over your body, I don't know why you would have a manila folder of pictures of the injuries that you had in your closet.
Under your bed? No, it's under his bed.
Oh, weirder.
Right next to his porn.
Yeah, I felt like that was a very odd thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Know people deal with stuff in different ways, but it seemed very weird that he would have an album of pictures of all the injuries he had under his bed.
I think that's just his, like, bad box. Because remember, the court documents from when he got arrested the year before were also in there.
Shouldn't that be, like, I get you have to keep your court documents, but shouldn't that be in, like, a different area of the house?
I would think.
Yeah,
I certainly wouldn't keep it
I would
next
think
to
that
my
would
bed.
be in the office, which you know they have, because, you know, French doors.
French doors.
I don't think he needs to keep that in his room. I don't know. I just felt like it was very odd.
I know. Okay, so, sorry.
Yeah.
So she's off on the sidelines. He's in his car. Piper is being the ready, set, go girl. Mm-hmm. And then Piper, of course, saunters over in her goddamn halter top and schoolgirl skirt. And the only reason I'm saying that is because the author made sure we knew. I don't give a shit what she's wearing.
Mm-mm.
And she leans into his car so that Tate says it's expressly because she wants Jared to see her tits and the other driver to see her ass.
Which, like, halter top, I don't know. I feel like your boobs don't spill out of a halter top.
No, that's sort of what they're
like
for.
The whole point. Yeah.
Yeah. Is you just
unless
keep
she
right
was going
there.
like sideways, unless she was trying to spill them out the sideways way.
Side boob action.
I don't know. That would
get
be
it,
weird,
girl. Yeah, agreed. It also would make for a weird contortion to make sure the other driver saw her ass. And you know that's what she wanted, Erin.
Yes.
You know it.
She wants everyone to see her ass.
So
this is so crazy.
This is off the
This
chain.
is almost as
insane.
crazy as when Tatum went and got that gun. This alarmed me.
She somehow like climbs the fence or something, gets herself onto the racetrack. She thinks to herself, too much, but like is not thinking. She simultaneously says that to herself, but also is simultaneously not thinking. Mm-hmm. Okay. She grabs Piper by the hair.
It is Jerry Springer style girl on girl hair pull action right now.
And like she throws her out in front of the cars.
Yes.
Then of course Piper turns around and charges her like a bull.
Oh, but with her heels on, which Tatum straight up laughs at. She's trying to run in heels.
Oh my God. And then she sweeps the leg.
She sweeps the leg.
It literally says, I swept her leg out from under her as she charged me. The villain does that in The Karate Kid. Yes. Tatum?
Yeah.
It's not the good guy, you asshole.
Put him in a body bag, Tatum.
She sweeps the leg. And then she leans over her prone body, claps twice in her face. I'm sorry, I memorized this altercation because it upset me so much. Yeah. Claps twice in her face and throws her words back to her saying, Jared is not interested in you, so back off. And then turns around because Jared has called her name, and Jared has this like,
he's so
smirk on his
into
face. He has such a boner right now.
Oh, God. It's awful. And it's like, this is the woman that was having sex with Jared on the regular, or girl, or whatever. You know, I know they're all 17.
Yeah.
Was having sex with Jared on the regular for the last, I don't know, like 6 months or so. Because she was having sex with him over the summer when What's-Her-Fuck got back from France. And she still is. So if anything, Tatum, he's cheating on her with you.
Right.
You're the person that, like, her intimidating you a couple weeks ago was because that's, like, her boyfriend. Ugh, it's so gross.
Right. It's also not ideal, not something I would engage in.
But I just felt like, Tatum, you're not the one that's with him right now. He hasn't broken it off with her. She has no reason to believe that she needs to stay away from him because he's interested in you.
Exactly. She has no reason to believe that her advances won't be completely accepted like they have been the whole time.
And there's no reason to think that Jared in the car was not like, hey, girl, nice tits.
Yeah.
Because that's what he's like. So
because he has fingered your best friend in the last 2 weeks. Like, oh,
God.
I don't understand how this is the women's problem. No. Anyway. So then she walks up to him and she's like, I'm not going to hide and don't ask me to or whatever. And then he kisses her in front of the whole crowd, which is what the fuck. And it's fine. So then they don't go to the bonfire because he wants to put it in her ASAP.
Right.
And on the way home, she's like, where do you go on the weekends? And he's like, none of your fucking business. And he says, you should just trust me. And she's once again no. is like, in what world should I trust you? This makes no sense. And he says something vulgar about like sleepovers and fucking or something like that. And then she cries and throws the bruised picture in his face and runs to her house.
He says something about wanting to be friends. And she's like, we can't be friends if you're not going to tell me stuff.
Says, she says, I want to be friends. And he's like, I think we're a little bit more than that. Remember how I ate you out today? Yeah.
And he's like, we can have sleepovers, but just so you know, there's going to be fucking at them. And that made her upset.
Yeah. I mean, it just, once again,
But wait, guys.
You just use the worst language. You know, you're a disappointing, self-serving bitch is what the undertone of that nonsense is, you know?
But wait, Melody, are you upset? Because it's grand gesture time.
It's grand gesture time. It's grovel time, but mostly grand gesture time.
No, there's no groveling. There's Jared.
No groveling.
He's the king of the high school.
That's true. He doesn't grovel.
He doesn't bend the knee for anyone.
No.
All right.
It's her birthday, you guys. So you want to know how we find that out?
Yeah.
We find that out by Casey going, I love birthdays because they're the only time of the year that I eat cake.
I forgot. So much. It's so much.
We get to have a calorie counting conversation. Yeah. So, good. Go ahead. She drives up.
Okay, so she drives up. The entire neighborhood is gathered around her French doors. Or the gap between her and Jared's house where the tree is. And Jared has taken 1 million lights. Literally 1 million of them. 1 million lights.
1 million.
And
there's lanterns.
The tree with lanterns and like Christmas lights and all of the lights all the way up. He's used a ladder.
Yeah, or maybe he hired Tree Stump Tracy, you know? Maybe she moonlights as a CW arborist.
Oh my God. Excellent callback. I'm clapping in your face for a good reason, Piper. Good job, Melody. That was aces. We're like real comedians. Look at that.
We are.
Oh my God. I think I've ruined it by being so impressed. But like, oh my gosh. Should we tour? Like,
maybe
incredible.
We should.
It's like we set that up and then we like we like, whatever you do when you set something up,
Spiked
and then you like hit, spike it. Then we spiked it. And without even trying.
Ooh.
Yeah. Okay, so...
Yeah, it's a straight up CW show up in here.
Yeah, it's One Tree Hill. This is the one tree. It's got lights on it.
Tree.
She walks up to the one tree, and it's got a little note on it that's on a ripped sheet of paper. And he stapled it to the tree. And it says, in italics, and it's been highlighted 267 times by other Kindle readers. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Yesterday lasts forever. Tomorrow comes never until you.
Until you, bitch.
The fuck it means. The fuck it means.
It's just not true. None of it is factual.
What does it mean? What does it mean? What does it mean? Even when he does, when he says what it means.
He tells us what it means in his prepubescent goddamn brain
multiple times, and I still have no fucking clue what he's talking about. And you know what it takes for me to read a paragraph more than once?
Oof.
A lot of effort.
A lot of effort.
Especially in a book like this.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah, yesterday comes never. Wait, yesterday lasts forever. Tomorrow comes never.
Until
the grammar is all
rhymes.
Fucked up.
But we find also out later something that a 16-year-old boy would get tattooed on his ribcage. So
do not get tattoos before you're 20, before your frontal lobe is fully developed.
Well, right. So this author does hit that spot on. This is a teenage tattoo. Yeah. However, please does parsnips. We don't think it was because she's got an insight into the teenage world.
Also, guys, spoiler alert, it's based on something written on Tate's mom's grave.
What?
Because he has an obsession.
That was me throwing my Kindle. I can do that because it's a paperwhite, you guys. It's not harmed. I cannot. What is this weird obsession with her dead mom?
I know.
Oh my god. If he stole something from that casket, I would not at all be surprised.
No, absolutely not.
Did he steal something from that casket? Tell me. Okay. Oh my god, I herbs that hard. Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love it when you tell me things in the book that I have supposedly read.
Okay, basically, you guys, so he's in her room. He has also burgled into her house.
Yes.
And she runs up the stairs.
Casey's like, why is your light on? And she's like, I don't know. Go home.
Yeah, she's like, thanks for dinner. Get out of here.
Go. Anyway, so she goes up to her room. He's in there.
And essentially, he's got the manila envelope of horror.
Of all the photos of when his dad severely abused him in the whateverth grade. I don't remember.
He was
freshman
14.
grade.
So 8th grade summer.
I thought it was freshman summer, but 8th grade summer. That's fine.
8th grade summer, yeah. And he tells the whole story. He also has a secret brother that he found out about during this summer.
Appropriately named Jax. It's a great name for a secret brother.
It is, absolutely. And then he was super abused because his dad, he didn't want to do burgle things for his dad.
Yeah.
And it's a whole thing. So also he called his mom during this, and I have to real quick just to borrow something from True Crime Obsessed. Garbage bell. If I had a bell, I would be ringing it. I'm so glad
I got you on that podcast. It's so great.
I'm obsessed with them.
It's so good. So much better than My Favorite Murder by 1,000.
Yeah. So he calls his mom during this summer before he actually gets hit by his dad. Mm-hmm. She's drunk, and he tells her that his dad is like super abusing this secret brother. And the text is, she didn't think that kid was her problem, and didn't think it was a bad enough situation, so she didn't come get me.
That shit happens all the time, though. That shit happens all the time. There are certain things in this that are not very realistic about this summer with his dad, but that's not one of them.
I cannot imagine a situation where my child tells me that another 13-year-old is being hideously beaten in their presence, and I don't immediately go kidnap them. Like that, I would commit a crime to get those children back.
Yep.
And somehow
But you're a good person.
I mean, I'm not tooting my own horn here. It just seems like the only thing to do.
Yep. Yeah. You're
it doesn't seem like you have another option.
Who's not addicted to alcohol, and that's a problem. Anyway, we won't describe all this abuse to you.
Yeah,
just
I'm not gonna.
It's somewhere between like a Winston childhood and a Split childhood. Not quite as bad as Split, because nothing is in the world. No one has ever read anything that bad ever on any page of literature. But a little worse than just, your regular alcoholic dad, too.
Yes. Okay, so then we find out what happened last summer. Apparently he goes nuts when she leaves. He finds out that Jax has been... because also Jax is in foster care.
Yeah.
And he finds out that Jax had been abused by this foster dad. So he goes and hunts him down and beats the shit out of him.
Which, I don't know. That makes no sense. Why not beat
whatever.
the shit out of your own dad?
He's in jail right now.
I guess. I don't know.
Anyway,
but also he notes that his dad targeted Jax because, quote, he was the bastard and worthy of less respect in my father's eyes. It's 2013 in this book.
Yeah.
Can you imagine a situation where he's like, this one is my heir and this one is the bastard, and he hasn't spoken to him in 14 years? This is like the first time he's made contact, and he's like, this is the heir to the meth shack fortune, so I won't beat him as bad. It's very weird.
It's really, really weird.
Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
But, Erin, does this exist? Is this like a diversion program I haven't heard about? Because the only thing he gets
fucking exists. Oh my god. Okay.
Big boom bong. Crime and laws with Erin.
This should be just like common sense with anyone. Okay. What we've got is
a serious assault.
Okay, so we've got a serious assault that Jared has committed against Jax's foster dad who beat up Jax. I assume sometime during this court case, the details of Jared and Jax's relationship, shared father, shared abuse would have come up if Jared had any kind of attorney. The judge says that Jared's reaction to Jax's abuse was correct, but his actions were not, or was understandable, but his actions were not. Great insight from the judge. Good stuff. I used it earlier in this podcast. However, the judge sentences him to have to visit his father in jail every weekend 2 hours away. The father that abused him, which I'm sure the judge knows about, mandatory visits in jail? That's like, I think that's not a thing you can order somebody to do in any state.
I don't think so. I feel like no.
No, but also like you're going to order a minor to go visit his abuser every weekend?
And it's supposed to be like this don't turn into this guy kind of situation. And how can you know that's going to be the outcome?
But also, Jared's actions were 100% motivated on I hate child abusers.
Right.
So why would the risk be that he's in jail for what his dad is in jail for?
Right.
Abusing children.
Right.
That's my head exploding. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I have no idea. So every weekend, he spends one day driving 4 hours total to visit his abuser, and court ordered. And then the other day, he drives just as far or something to visit his brother in his foster home.
And I know, but okay, I know this is petty, but the judge ordered this for 3 years?
No. This happened last year. It was for 1 year.
Oh, I thought this was right after.
Okay. Yeah, when she went to eat baguette.
All right, I herbsed it wrong. Okay, got it. I was just like, how did the judge say for 3 years every weekend you will visit? That's so long. Okay.
No, it was 1 year. So anyway.
Why couldn't Penelope just have had him? Is it Penelope?
Yeah, Penelope Douglas.
Why couldn't she have just have had him go visit Jax every weekend? That noise.
I don't know.
Yeah, I felt like this was completely unnecessary. Just every weekend go hang out with Jax because he's your brother. What?
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't be a diversion.
No, but why would he would still be gone every weekend? It would still be a big secret.
Sure. Yeah,
it still
true.
works for the plot. There's no plot reason why it has to be abusive dad.
Yeah, or just have him be picking up trash on the side of the road as part of his community service.
Sure.
Just sentence him to community service.
Yeah.
Don't have him bring Twinkies to his abusive dad.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Have him go to jail every weekend. People do that.
Sure.
He's a minor, so probably not. But still.
But he could go to juvie every weekend.
I don't know if they do that for juvie.
No?
I don't know.
All right,
I don't know.
I don't fucking know.
That's the thing.
There
I don't
are things. Yeah. All right. So, okay. Then we find out what the impetus for the bullying, you guys. And this also makes not a lick of sense. He comes home, bruised and battered, and he like caught a bus by himself because he left Jack's because he couldn't get a hold of his mom or something. And he finally found them because nobody was at home. He finally found them in a park, and his mom was with her dad and her.
Finally found Tate and her family at a park.
Yes. But he was with his mom too.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, you guys were just like playing house without me and nobody cared. And so
playing
I decided
the little family.
Yes. And I decided to take all of the rage and hate that I could not direct toward my father or my mother and directed at you. And I'm like, first of all, I don't understand why you could not direct it at your father and your mother.
Yeah.
Like, you're living with your mom.
I don't psychologically understand this so much since she is his only confidant in the world. I can understand why he would have distanced himself from her or been jealous of her or like that this like relationship would be poisoned by his inability to be the same friend to her that he had been. I get that.
Absolutely.
But the idea of like, I was mad and then I just made a decision in that moment that I was going to be mad at you instead made no sense.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So they're in her bedroom, remember, you guys?
Yeah.
And so he's like, don't hate me. And she's like, I don't hate you. I only hate the time we wasted and the fact that you're saying that you loved me in the past tense and that you don't love me anymore. And he goes, we never lost that. As much as I tried, I could never erase you from my heart.
Ugh.
That's why I was such an asshole and kept guys away from you. You were always mine.
Ugh.
And then she says, are you mine? I asked as I wiped my tears. He kissed the corners of my mouth softly, and I felt heat rise up in my neck, always have been. He says he loves her. They fall asleep on the bed, and then more nuttiness happens, you guys. Mm-hmm. She wakes up at midnight. She looks out into the vistas out of her French doors and realizes that there's another storm. And she's like, I've got Jared. I've got a summer storm. Or no, like a fall storm. It's October, you guys.
You guys, in like Naperville or whatever. I forget where they say cold. They are at. But it's a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah. So she goes and just decides to walk out into the rain at midnight in October Midwest.
Yeah, she wakes up in October and is like, oh, a storm. I'm going to go outside and wash my clothes.
So he comes out and it says that he looks at her like she's his last meal.
I saw it too. I didn't like it. Unless you're a wolf, you don't get to look at me like food.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
or a vampire, I guess. I just don't like them as much.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
Unless you're a monster, don't look at me like you're going to eat me.
That's right.
Yeah.
They're soaking wet, you guys, in October on a patio.
And she's cold.
And then so she kisses him. It turns into a lot more. He backs her up onto an umbrellaed chaise lounge or something.
Can you imagine how cold that was?
Imagine
that vinyl
and I hated it.
Umbrella chaise lounge on your back.
And it's like a little bit dusty from the summer, plus the dampness of everything else. And like cats have been on it and stuff. Just the goddamn stray cats.
Cats have been on it and
everywhere. I'm sorry. We have a stray cat problem in Bayonne. And as a result, I just don't sit on the cushions on my front porch. Sure. I can't. Okay. So then, once I... So once I took myself out of that, they actually have some pretty good sex.
They do. If you forget that it's freezing cold and in the rain, it's good.
And they're wet. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's her first time, and then he ruins it. Because afterwards, they're cuddling, and he says, you really are a virgin. You really were a virgin. He wasn't asking. Yeah, I replied weakly. I haven't had much of a dating life, you know?
Yeah, because you have stopped all men from talking to me.
Rising up to hover over me, Jared kissed me on the cheeks and forehead. So you're truly mine. His voice was husky. Always, I told myself. But I opted for my usual sarcasm when I responded, only so long as you keep me happy.
And then
ladies. Hey, ladies, everybody. Everybody, men's. Everybody in between. Gender fluidity. I'm sorry that I keep on talking in the binary.
Yes.
But God damn it, humans listening to this. And also small pets. I don't give a shit.
Rooster is not listening to this.
That should not be a sarcastic comment. You should only be with someone so long as you make each other happy.
Mm-hmm.
Or like you're working, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Why is that sarcasm? You should not always be with him.
Yeah.
That should not be a given.
No.
People need to work for that.
Yeah.
Ugh. Sarcasm. Get your sarcasm. Learn what sarcasm means. Or get better standards.
Do you need me to explain to you what he meant when he said, you truly are mine?
Oh, I didn't think about that angle. I guess. Ugh.
Because it's like...
it's like forever. It's like a stamp.
Yeah.
It's like a tattoo now. It's a bad teenage tattoo.
Yeah.
He's forever on her and in her.
If you guys just like rewind like 20 minutes.
Yeah. No, she covered it.
It really upset me so much. Ugh. I think this was the worst virginity book we've had.
I think so. Mm-hmm. I really think so. And that's including all the ones with the battering rams and the speared me with his sword language. Yeah. Totally gross. Okay. So she goes to homecoming with Maddox and Jared both because Jared can't not, she is his property now.
Yeah,
so like,
he has to obviously
go. Yeah. Even though he sounds like a terrible date.
Yeah,
can I just say that?
A terrible date. If I don't pay attention to you, it's just because I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's because I love cars.
Yeah. Oh, they try to rewrite both Maddox and Jared by saying that Maddox had this grand plan to get a reaction out of Jared by bullying
that's why
her.
he asked her to homecoming, because he wanted to get them together.
Yeah. And then also tries to somehow like make Jared redeemable by saying that they've been best friends because Jared saved Maddox from bullying, which like I don't give a shit.
And then like didn't tell anybody that he was ever bullied.
Yeah.
Don't care.
He refuses to dance with her or have fun or like, and he begrudgingly takes pictures at the dance. Like Maddox is such a better date than this guy.
Yeah.
And I just say that?
Maddox sexually assaulted her.
Yes!
Where's Ben?
2 times. Yeah. 2 times in this book.
Oh, God.
He sexually assaulted her. Okay. So then they go to an after party and he takes her upstairs because he wants to dance with her in private. He says that it's too private to do with
he wants to show
people.
her his speakers or whatever. You guys, he's supposed to have stuff with her. So
he just wants to do it.
Yeah.
So they do it. I'm sorry. She says that she's a good girl, but right now she wants to be really, really bad. So
that was also great high school writing.
Yes, it actually was.
Yeah.
Great high school writing.
That's something any of us could have said and like instantly regretted.
Oh, yeah.
Like, oh God, why did I say that out loud?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. He sets up his phone so that they can have some music. And then, oh my God, they have a stupid talk about his tattoos. He literally tattooed on himself is yesterday lasts forever, tomorrow comes never.
Comes never.
And then he tells her that she is the lantern.
Oh God! So he hasn't. This is Ping Pong Pong terrible tattoos.
Yeah,
this is not our first terrible tattoos segment either.
No.
Yesterday lasts forever is about his dad's abuse and how he's like always thinking about it and he can't move on.
He can't get he can't.
And then tomorrow comes never is like he can't live in the future because
he's just stuck.
He's stuck in the before
past.
Times. Why would you get that tattooed on you? You would think it would be he would get a tattoo of the opposite to remind you to like. Why would you get a tattoo on you that's just like I'm depressed, like, and it's never going to end? Like that's not good. And then he has a tattoo of a lantern, which I cannot wrap my brain around. I can't imagine it.
And it's a mother-son tattoo. Erin.
Oh yeah, I'm getting there. But like I can't even imagine. Is it like a Asian paper lantern?
I don't know.
Is it like the kind
is
that
it like
you
a
hang
steampunk lantern?
Is it the kind that you hang outside your house or use in like weird
Is it
decor?
a camping lantern?
Yeah, is it one of those? Is it?
I don't know.
whatever. So
Nobody knows.
His mother decided she was going to not be an alcoholic anymore, like a couple years ago or whatever. So he's 15 or whatever when he got this tattoo. He decided he was going to be more positive, and they were going to have like a together awakening of betterness.
Yeah, they were both going to work on some healing. So they not go to therapy or anything.
No, they're just going to like work on it together alone.
And like with their tattoos.
Yeah, she's going cold turkey. So they both got tattoos of lanterns to symbolize the thing that they were getting better for and like the thing that was giving them hope. And so, but his lantern is Tate. Don't worry, he continued to relentlessly abuse her for 2 more years.
Yes. And also, like,
he hated her. He hated her.
And also, you could just say anybody is the lantern.
Yeah.
Hey, you see this flower right here? You're the flower.
Do you think he told Piper she was the lantern and Casey that she was the lantern? They're all the lantern. Oh, God. What a shitty thing to be, too, a lantern.
A lantern. Oh, okay. Ew. Okay, I discovered a new gross term. As she's thinking about how they've been doing it, she goes, every touch this past week, every kiss, every time we'd loved.
Oh!
Full body shudder. Every time we'd loved, you guys. I can't. I don't like it. Okay.
So they have sex in the room. She's on top. She loves it. It's the best. She gets to go back and forth instead of up and down. We get to learn all new kinds of things about sex. That's on the page. That's not me talking. That is on the page. She's like, I'm going back and forth this time.
Look at this back and forth movement. I did that instead of the up and down movement I had just been doing.
Yes. That's like literally what it says. So they're done doing it, and they are done with homecoming, and they go home.
Wait, no. So then she's like, why could Piper know about your weekend excursions? And this is where we find out that she was a revenge fuck.
Oh, my God.
Because the only reason, he didn't tell her, the only reason Piper knew was that her dad is the arresting officer for his assault. And he was trying to get back at him for doing his job. And that is why Piper, poor justice for Piper.
Like justice for Piper.
I mean, she ruins it.
Justice for Enid. Justice for Sarah, just a little bit. And justice for Piper. I can't. It upsets me so deeply. And it makes her feel so good. He's like, I was just fucking her because she was the daughter of the cop. And blah, blah, blah. And Tate feels really good about that. She
goes, it was just some quote unquote silly revenge. Mm-hmm. And then it says, bagging the cop's daughter was a screw you to her father. He shrugged. Yeah, I'm not proud of that, but would it make you feel better if I actually liked her?
Yes.
I looked away.
Yes, it would. Jared.
No, it wouldn't.
It would make me feel much better if you liked and didn't use this other woman. Yes.
Right?
100% it would make me feel better.
Yeah. It definitely, not Tate, though.
She's
not somehow.
terrible.
Somehow not Tate.
These two deserve each other.
Fucking yeah. So, all right. So on Monday, guess what happens, you guys? Revenge porn. Revenge porn happens. All of a sudden, she's sitting in class. I don't have notes for the rest of the book because, oh yeah, I do. I have one more note. So we're just winging it from here on out.
Wrap this up real quick, though, I think.
We can, yeah. So she's sitting in French class or something, and the school gets a text. The whole school, somehow.
School
they have
gets a text from Jared.
Thank you.
Have you ever tried to group text more than 10 people?
It is.
It's not a thing.
I mean, there has to be like an app, right? That he used.
Sure, I'm sure.
No, not in 2013.
No.
Oh my God.
I was going to say, I'm sure he could have kicked the whole school or WhatsApped the whole school.
Or slacked them.
This shit that the kids use these days, it's so hard to keep up with. It's so hard.
Much. All right. So it says it's a video of them from the party having sex in the guest room, and the caption, the message that goes along with it is, "She was a great fuck. Who wants her next?"
Oh, I did.
She obviously
I missed the message.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know that.
It was At
least it said she was good. I'm just saying it could have said she was bad at sex and no one have sex with her. That would have been slightly worse.
I mean, they were also watching the video, so I don't know how you would have pulled that off when it obviously is like two people are super into it. Yeah. Anyway.
Fair.
Hey, I wish it had been like, she does this back and forth motion.
You guys heard of back and forth?
Sorry. Anyway, so she obviously flies off the handle and immediately thinks it's Jared because, like,
it came from
this
Jared.
is what he does.
Yeah, and this could have been a long con.
This is like the third revenge plot we have read in 2 months alone. So she.
Wait.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like a few days ago, I saw this Instagram thing from a Marine that had like this Marine poem that said, "If I die, revenge me." Since then, David and I, every time something bad happens, we've been like, "Revenge me!
Revenge me!"
Anyway, it just reminded me. Revenge me!
All right.
Anyway,
so her inner monologue is, you're going to love this.
Yeah.
He'd ruined me.
Oh, God.
Not just in high school, but forever. There's ruination.
Yeah, but
this book really has everything.
This really is modern day ruination, though. Everyone.
No, it is.
Yeah, so I didn't really have a problem with that. Because I was like, she is really ruined for everybody.
Uh-huh. Okay, so then she demolishes his car.
Yes.
She gets a tire iron out of her car.
Yes.
And, literally beats to fuck. Smashes all of his windows, does the whole thing.
Yeah.
He comes out and he's like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, "You did this to me." And then she gets in her truck and runs away.
Well, he really is just kind of like afraid of her. When he comes out, he's like, "Tate," and like has his hands up. Like,
yeah.
Like she's this wild animal. Anyway, they're not like in a fight.
Yes.
He's like super scared of her, which I was like,
oh, yeah.
For
totally.
once, yeah, good.
Yeah. So she drives to the cemetery and sits at her mom's grave, and she remembers their picnic that they had, the picnic we talked about.
And her mom's ghost comes out of the ground and is like,
picnic with her dead mom.
Yeah. I'm sorry I named you that. Do you have the fossil? And Tatum's like, "No, I don't." And she's
this
like,
guy that told me he loved me stole the fossil.
Forever, tomorrow's never, bring me the fossil. And so Tatum goes to Jared's car and gets the fossil from his mirror,
true.
gives it to her ghost mom, and then ghost mom rises to heaven and says, "My work here is done." And then it's the end. They're not together, but it is an HEA because the mom was able to ascend to heaven.
Okay, you want to know what's on her mom's grave?
What?
It says, "Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow has not yet come. We only have today. Let us begin." And it's a Mother Teresa quote.
That's normal shit. That makes sense.
But his tattoo, his depression tattoo, is a play on the script on her mom's grave. I know, but it's amazing.
Makes it worse. Like, just get that tattooed on you. Don't worsen it. Like,
okay. So anyway, he comes to the cemetery and he's like, "Tate, we need to talk." And she's like, "I'm never talking to you again." Basically, he's like, "I haven't had my phone since the party. I don't know what happened. I don't know how to find it." And she's like, "Have you ever heard of a thing called Find My Friends, you fucking idiot?" And so she decides to work with him.
Find my phone?
Sure.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
Well, no, there's also an app that's Find My Friends, I think, and you can exchange it with anybody. Oh my God. And so you can like keep tabs on your pals or your kids or your whoever.
Awful. Okay.
Same. Yeah, I agree.
Burn it. All of it.
Okay, so the phone is at the school. Yeah. And she's like sort of kind of believing him that he didn't do this to her. Mm-hmm. Then long story short, they find the phone in a locker. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "Guess what? Guess who's the villain in this book? This is Piper's locker." Mm-hmm. Turns out, you guys, there's also an altercation here. Yeah. She and Piper, he punches Nate because Nate is also involved.
Yes.
So here's what happened. Nate the cat burglar. Everybody's a cat burglar at this high school. Because what happened was everybody saw them go up to the room and Nate climbed up the trellis or whatever to this person's French doors and videoed them.
This person also had French doors? No, that can't be true.
No,
that can't be true.
I don't
Okay,
know.
I'm like, I like fell out of my chair. Okay, good.
It's true. I edited out the
It is
kerplunk.
believable, though.
It is. So he took the video, and then when Jared forgot his phone, Piper went and grabbed that.
Mm-hmm.
They sent the video to his phone, and then they sent it out to the whole school.
What,
wow.
What a caper. Like, I just,
wow.
The level of sophistication of this thing and, like, planning is well beyond their years and well beyond the effort you would go to for something like this. Just climb up that trellis, take a couple pictures, put them on the internet. Do a blog.
One of those. Bye. Tweet it out.
Tweet.
Yeah. I mean, we're not giving you advice.
Make a new Twitter account that's anonymous. Be like,
stop
Twitter
giving
account
them advice.
That's like Tatum's a slut.org or whatever.
No.
This is what, right?
No, this is what people do.
And then you post it, and then you tag all the school people, and that's it. You don't have to do this viral phone switch caper. Like, I guess they wanted it to seem like it was from Jared, but you just like do the tweet, and then you're like, "This is Jared. I'm the Twitterer. Me, Jared."
Yep.
Hack his Twitter account. It can't be. His password's definitely like Boss Car 4, whatever model that is. God.
Yep. It's so true. Okay, so then they are happy for now. I refuse to call it a happy ever after because because she then buys a car. Yeah, this is their senior year, right?
A Pontiac.
I don't care.
G8? Something?
But I thought she had dreams of Colombia. She was going to go to Medellin.
Yeah, she said earlier in the book that she can't even consider a future that does not have Colombia in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet
the school. We've had this problem before.
Nope, she's going to Medellin. That's what's happening in my brain.
Mm-hmm.
So, but she has plans to like work on this car and then race it in the winter.
Mm-hmm.
It like over winter break, maybe? Like, what is happening?
Where's Columbia, the school?
New York.
Are they in New York? I swore that
they're in Chicago.
They are in Chicago.
Yeah,
because they went dress shopping in Chicago. Like they went. Oh God,
homecomingness. Yeah.
What is she not going to go?
I don't care. I hope they break up. I hope that he's not hers forever. I mean, she's not his.
If she wants to work on cars instead of going to college, that's actually a pretty solid path. But I think she should probably explain that in the book.
And it's also not her plan.
Yeah.
Like, it hasn't been her plan for forever.
Maybe Jared doesn't want her to go to college because there's boys there. And, I don't know if you know this, but if she touches other boys, then it's a stain. And
he's no longer
his.
Yeah. Guys, this was a ride.
The end.
The end. Vroom, vroom, beep.
Ayuga. French doors. Swoosh.
Boastful hardwood floor.
Oh wait. Can I read a note? Wait, I'm so sorry. I know we're done, but I just
wait, while you're finding that note, at the cemetery, he tells her that he called her dad to tell him about the porn.
What?
Without her permission.
What? Wait, I missed it.
He called her international scientist German dad.
No. Oh, God. Oh, my God.
And so her dad came home early, and that's right. Because she was like, and now we get to have a lot less sex because my dad's home early.
But no, we don't, because I can get to your room from my room, and your mom is like an alcoholic who doesn't pay attention to you, despite her lantern tattoo.
I know.
When we go to remember the party where they had the back and forth sex?
Yes.
So in order to illustrate that there is an empty room in the house where they can have the sex, the author needs to tell us all about that house. Are you ready?
Yes,
we don't know the kid whose house this belongs to. We have never met. I don't even know the name of the kid, but I do know the name.
Was it a Bentley, a Beckley,
but I don't know the first name of the kid.
No.
Or whether, like, a male, female. Like, I have no idea who this person is at all.
No context.
But I do know the names of the parents because Tori and Brian Beckman enjoyed a lush and spacious 2-level home with a finished basement and fully landscaped backyard that was big enough for a modest golf course. The house probably boasted again 7 or 8 rooms, and it looked like Jared was taking me to one. I just couldn't.
Oh my gosh.
Tori and Brian Beckman. I don't know who their kid is.
Guys, it's incredible. Incredible. All right, Amber. All
Oh.
right, Amber.
Melanie.
What is your lady love, Erin?
Well, Rooster, it is. Here's the thing. I've been meaning to say this for like 4 weeks, and I keep forgetting it, and I keep saying different lady loves. Mm-hmm. But I have to say it in case anyone doesn't know about it. So previously, in the past, which is what previously means, I have done the lady love of various things that have happened on Busy Tonight, which is a great late night talk show hosted by Busy Phillips. It was canceled after about, you don't know about this?
No.
I talked about it in that chat that you're a member of. Anyway, so it was canceled after they did it. They were an every night talk show. So there's probably 100 episodes out there on the Hulu or whatever, wherever you get your TV. It was on E, but it's only been 1 year. And after they were canceled, the 2 final episodes of Busy Tonight are insane. She burns it down. It's insane. Really? The second to last episode, she canceled whatever guest she had and had on Leslie Mann instead because they're best friends. Well, one of her best friends. And like had this whole interview where she talked about how like if she were a man, like her intro is like, if I were a man, this would have never happened sort of thing. And then her last episode, she has on all of her other best friends. I have a feeling Leslie Mann couldn't make it to the last episode, so she had her on the second to last episode. Anyway, who are Whitney Cummings and Michelle Williams and the chick from Freaks and Geeks, whose name I can't remember right now. Like all these great, fantastic women. And they do like a roast of her. And they burn E so hard. And I have no idea why E allowed this to be on TV.
Oh, I love it.
And then she closes it with this incredible, like she's full on crying speech about how what she's learned from being on this show, and it's all this like great lady advice about like perseverance and kindness and all this stuff. Aww. And she ends it by saying the trick is that I'm going to butcher this, but like you're running a marathon, and even if something like this happens, the trick is figuring out what marathon you're actually running. And she's like, we haven't even like gotten started. We're like burning this bitch down. Like you don't even know what's coming. We're not done yet. And like she brings out all the women she had working on her show. She's like, when I started this show, I decided I want to walk away from it with as many girlfriends as possible. So I basically hired like all women, and she brings out like 100 women on the stage. It's incredible. You have to watch it and go back and watch the show. It's a really fun show.
Yeah.
Very feminist show.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, oh man, I'm really excited.
I'm going to videotape it and send it to you in case you don't have the Hulu. I will do it on my phone and send it to you.
Thank you. You're a good friend. Okay, mine is...
I know.
Like she
didn't catch it.
Do. Yeah. Okay, so mine is an episode of Fated Mates because... I listened to it this morning. It came out on May 21st.
If they listen to Fated Mates, they're gonna stop listening to us. They're better than us. Don't tell them about Fated Mates.
We just do vastly different things.
I feel like to Fated Mates, they're gonna be like, "This is good. There's production quality. Sarah McLean is here. Why have I been wasting my time?" And I don't mean to diminish Jen's role. Like Jen's great too. Oh no! Don't do this. Anyway, yes.
Guys, go listen to Fated Mates.
Incredible.
It's so good. They're so amazing. Yes, and a rising tide lifts all boats.
I know. I'm totally kidding.
I know you are. Okay, so also our production quality is okay. God damn it. Says the person in charge of production quality. Sarah McLean's
husband does all this stuff for them.
I know.
He's knowledgeable about these things, and I'm just very jealous.
It's really cool.
They have a producer on staff.
I know. Okay, so guys, back to it, okay? It's an episode of Fated Mates. It's 13.5. It's one of their interstitials. FYI, even if you're not a Cressley Cole fan, I know I've said this before on Twitter, I think on here, whatever.
We've been shouting it from the rooftops. They're interstitials.
Yeah, listen.
Is that the right
Listen to
word?
the interstitials.
Interstitial?
Yes.
I don't know what it means.
Listen to the interstitials.
Listen to them.
It's all book recs. Like, it will make your TBR pile turn into a TBR mountain.
Yeah.
However, worth it.
And it's Sarah McLean and Jen Reed's romance book recs. Those are the best kind. And it's the ones that are the 0.5s in their lineup.
Yes. So this one is an interstitial. It's called Freewheeling with Sarah and Jen. And the description is, y'all asked for more rants, and boy, do we have some for you this week. Alabama passed a terrible law. Georgia and Ohio are right there behind them. And since May 21st, Louisiana has also signed a ban on abortions after 6 weeks. Their fucking Democratic governor just signed fucking law. Okay, so anyway, and other states are following suit. Jen and Sarah are talking bodily autonomy, contraception, pregnancy, miscarriage, stillbirth, hysterectomy, and abortion, and how they exist in romance novels.
Yeah. And this was also a big Twitter thing, too.
Yeah, I'm going to try to find the thread and put it out for our followers as well, just in case I didn't see it. But often I absolutely agree with them, or I really appreciate what they're saying. But never before have I listened to an episode where my head almost fell off of my body because I was nodding so hard. You know? Like, it's serious.
No, I just imagined it. It was very funny.
Go.
And then it just goes forward and it just keeps going.
It's gone now.
Funny.
Yeah, and if, last week I went on a rant, and Sarah McLean is really good at being gracefully furious. It's part of her brand. So if you like that sort of thing, after listening to my totally off the chain, ineloquent rant about things and the Yellowhammer Fund and all of that, go listen to them, because in their words, they are big mad, and
big mad.
And they managed to center it still in Romancelandia, which is really, really cool.
Articulate and like smart.
They're so goddamn articulate.
I don't know if you guys remember.
Two of the smartest women I've ever known.
Last week I went on a rant too about Greek yogurt ice cream bars that I think was also. The episode hasn't gone out yet, but I think it was really well received. So
we'll find out tomorrow, because I'm publishing that episode tomorrow.
Anyway.
All right. Anyway. Wow. Okay, so those are our lady loves. What do we do now? We tell you where to find us.
Where to find us. Twitter, heaving_bosoms. Instagram, heaving bosoms. Facebook.
You're doing great.
Thank you. Heaving Bosoms Podcast. And also the closed magical group that is the Heaving Bosoms Podcast Geriatric Friendship Cult that is very close to 1,000 members.
We're like 2 people away. By the time this goes out, we might
Last
be
week
up
we were
1,000.
20 people away. Now we're 2 people away. By the time you hear this, number 1,000 has happened. And if she's cool, we might shout her out or something. But if she's not cool, we probably won't. So
stop it, Erin.
We'll get a shot. We'll probably do something. I'm not gonna wait.
What if I forget? And then she thinks she's not cool.
No, we won't forget. You're cool. Whoever you are, future lady friend.
You're cool either way.
Or man friend. We do have some men in the cult.
Yeah.
So that. And
those
then
are our social media.
And then we have an email address, heavingbosospodcast@gmail.com. We will not email you back. I think that's pretty much fair to say right now, but we do we do read all of them.
Yes.
And the Patreon is Patreon Heaving Bosoms Podcast. You Google it up for the low price of $5 a month. You can listen to all the extra content. This week was Bitcoin in my butt and he's handsome.
Yep.
And then we have merch at redbubble.com, Heaving Bosoms Podcast, original merchandise designs.
Yes. And you can also find both of those links through our website, which is www.heavingbosomspodcast.com.
I was going to keep it quiet because it's very, very out of date right now.
Yeah, don't go there for new episodes.
Don't go there for new episodes.
Go there for like Reading Embrace. Yeah. Go there for Patreon. Go there for merch.
Yeah, I am going to at some point put up the Cunt Awards as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, Erin.
Keep being a badass.
And love yourself as much as you love going back and forth and up and down.
Oh, virgins.
All right. Love you, tons.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
There Will Be Porn is a podcast about pornography, but it's hosted by two women, so just don't worry about it, okay?
I am Kate, a sex-positive married woman who loves watching porn in the morning.
And I'm Myrna, a former gymnast, a current feminist, and someone who loves masturbating to herself in the mirror.
Each episode, we watch a movie from the top 100 adult films. From farmers' daughters to slutty secretaries, we think about what porn has to teach us, research the history of adult filmmaking, and look deeply at surgically close images of vaginal penetration, then ask ourselves, are we sure this is hot?
If you're looking for sex education, women's empowerment, and compliments on the symmetry of porn stars' butts, then you'll love our podcast, There Will Be Porn. And if you don't trust us, trust someone with a username A Dude With a Penis on iTunes who said, never heard anything like this. Women watch porn too? Hell yeah.
You can listen to our podcast at morebanana.com or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's all audio, so we won't see you there, but you might see UM.
You can find us everywhere on social at There Will Be PRN because you can't spell out porn on the internet.
Hey, you. Yes, listener, you. Are you loving the show? If so, please leave a rating and review in your podcast app. The 90 seconds you take to say something nice not only helps new people find the show, but it makes me super smile over at HBHQ. Also, I've had a few people ask, and the answer is yes. We are still doing the 5-star bribe. If you leave us a review with 5 stars, then we'll do whatever book you want. We're real deep into the list, though, so it might be a while. Lilas! Okay, back to the show.